I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hope.
And this is the Bookish and Bubbly podcast.
Woo!
Hey everybody, what's up? This is Brooke.
And this is Hope.
And we're back, baby!
Woo!
Yeah. How was your week, Hope?
You know, my week was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you work a ton this week?
I sure did. But that's okay.
Girl.
I know. I wish I had a job where I could, share the funny stories that happen, but I can't.
Yeah.
But
HIPAA.
Yeah, but just know, good stuff was happening. But other than that...
But it's a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went to a birthday party.
Ooh.
I took myself shopping. That was fun.
Ooh, where'd you go?
I went...
You didn't?
No, I did. I went to Target and my favorite thing is just going around Target and literally looking at everything.
Yeah.
The dollar spot right now is on point. It's totally your vibes too. Greenery and more neutral color, decor and greenery, and,
And then also greenery.
Yeah, a little bit of greenery.
I'll have to look.
Yeah, how was your week?
It was fine. It was good. The sun finally came back out, so I've been feeling happier. I've been trying to go to the gym again.
Nice.
So that's been interesting, but I am so freaking exhausted now.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing that, so. But it's been good. I'm doing that for myself.
You go, girl.
Thank you.
I also did the hair plopping.
Guys, if you listen to our first Bubbly episode, you will know I tried to convince Hope. And you know who's sitting next to me right now? It's Tori Kelly. Introducing Tori Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, your hair looks so good.
Thanks.
It looks amazing. And this was really your first try.
Yeah.
You did it one other time, but
They can't see it, but...
She looks amazing.
Sitting here looking like a poodle.
Oh, no. No, you look so good, I swear.
Thanks.
And it's your first time, so it can only go from here.
You know?
You have to take a picture so you can see your hair journey. That's what they all do. All the curly-headed girls.
Cool. I'll do that.
Oh, and speaking of hair, so I've been taking... Oh, you know what? This podcast is sponsored by Nutrafol. It's not, but we'd love it.
Is that the horse conditioner?
No. No.
That was
It's
a legit
not.
question.
Stop. Hope and Megan made fun of me because I used mane and tail. This was back a while ago, and I was told to use it because it makes your hair long. But it's also a horse shampoo and conditioner.
Can you tell the people the name one more time?
Mane and tail. Stop. You can buy it at Kroger. Why would they sell it along with all the other stuff if you couldn't use it on human hair?
This was during COVID, though, too, that you were doing this.
I used it before.
Did
you?
You?
That was when I had dyed my hair blue. It was rough.
I'll never forget that. We were on FaceTime with Megan, and you were like, I'm thinking about dyeing my hair. And of course, we're both like, do it.
Oh my gosh. It looked so bad, guys.
No.
Yes. And then it turned green by the end.
Yeah.
Guys, don't do that. But, it was COVID. I wasn't going anywhere.
We were all just a hot mess.
It was bad, though. It was so embarrassing. And then Mitchell came home and I was like, shit, I have to tell Mitchell. So I had my hoodie up over my head.
Did you really?
And I had it tied. There's a video of it too. Because
Really?
Liv came over.
Yeah.
And she got the reaction and he was like, oh, okay. Okay, great.
That looks great.
We can post it if anyone's interested. We never posted my geranium exposure picture.
I was going to tell you, Bath and Body Works has a geranium candle.
Perfect. I would literally die if I was inhaling it.
I know.
I would die.
I was thinking about you. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Anything else to share?
Oh, wait. Nutrafol. The whole thing.
Oh, yeah. This is the problem with us because we start something and we get so excited that we switch to another conversation and we never finish what we're talking about.
Honestly, editing this podcast has been a little frustrating because I'm like, oh, Oh, we never wrapped that thought up.
Sorry.
Literally ever.
I got excited because you were talking about that, and I thought of the Tame the Mane or whatever. If you think
you're the big problem in this, you are incorrect. I am the one that goes off on these tangents more than anybody.
Oh, we know
and that. I'm like, Brooke, you literally cut her off and then talked about something completely different.
Every time.
Nice. Back to Nutrafol. Mm-hmm. I've been taking Nutrafol. I heard about it on Heather McMahon's podcast. And of course, as we all know, if I hear about a deal, I'm going to get it. And it helps with growing your hair. Like hair loss stuff. And I have the thinnest hair literally in the world. Right?
Yeah.
It's so thin. When it's up in a ponytail, I have bald spots all over the place. Oh. It's not even bald spots. It's just that thin you can see my scalp through. And it's really, I hate it. Anyways.
You're so pretty.
Thank you. Love you. But I tried Nutrafol. Yeah. And I started noticing I have all these baby hairs coming in. Literally.
I see it. Yeah, no, I see it.
I'll send you pictures. Like, especially... Well, what the heck?
I can see it when you're pulling them.
Little baby hairs here.
Yeah.
I have baby hairs all over now that were not there before. And this is not like a postpartum...
We see the top.
Like...
I feel like the top looks thicker, too.
I think... I did shower, too, so I feel like it always looks better right after I shower.
Okay.
But I'll send you a picture. Yeah. Usually there's... I don't know where it is, but usually I can find it.
No, I saw it right when you pulled it out at the front.
Yeah.
I could see it.
And I've been getting little baby hairs. Oh. And I'm like... Now I'm hooked. And I'm like, this is working. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So anyways, Nutrafol, if you'd like to sponsor us, do it.
What'd you read this week?
Okay, so I started Finley Donovan is Killing It. So far, loving it. It's a 5-star read for me. Nice. As of now, I'm like 60% through the book. Okay. But I'm really liking it. It's like... Definitely not what I expected. I didn't know anything about it, so I like doing that a lot, is like not reading like the summary of it or anything. Yeah. So I haven't heard anything about it other than that it's
I've never heard of it, yeah.
It's really good. Nice. Yeah, it's not a romance. I think there will be some in it.
Yeah.
There's like maybe a love interest, and then, but it's more of just like a fun story.
Cool.
I don't know. It's really good so far. And then The Paris Apartment finally came in, so I'm going to read that next. Nice. But also I'm reading Happy Place. So those, Paris Apartment and Finley Donovan, those are audiobooks. Okay. And then I'm physically reading Happy Place since I bought that.
Yeah.
So that, I've read like 3 pages of it and it's good so far. Nice. Yeah. What are you reading?
So I finished Icebreaker. And then I was telling my friend at work about it, and I was telling him, like, oh, it's really good. It's like this little romance about like hockey and stuff. And she's like, oh, I've got a book for you. So she gave me The Deal by, is it Elle Kennedy? Yeah. I've read that. That was a really good book too.
And we will be getting season tickets to the Blue Jackets.
Right up against the glass.
Our nose are can't fucking talk. Our noses are pressed up against the glass. Our noses are pressed up against the glass. Okay. Probably can use one of those.
Yeah. And
you read The Deal.
Yep, The Deal.
I heard that the whole series is good, I've heard.
Yeah, I liked the first book.
Yeah.
And then now I'm reading It Happened One Summer by, was it Tessa Bailey? Yeah.
Is it Tessa Bailey?
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to go with yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good book so far. I would say like I'm probably at like a 3.5 to 4. Like I like it. For all our ladies out there, if you've read it and were personally traumatized by the jean scene where they were trying on jeans, contact Brooke and I, because we had a very passionate talk about this, about how traumatized we were.
By the jean shopping. I mean...
That's all we'll say, right?
Well, okay, yeah. We don't want to...
We'll just talk about it.
Are we ever going to review that book? No.
You never know.
Okay, never mind.
If you want to chat with us about that...
Let us know. Slide into our DMs.
I have liked how we've gotten some DMs.
I know, it's
and we both answer.
Yeah. And I'm like, did you see this person? And she's like, yes, I'm also logged in.
But it's been kind of fun.
Yeah. It has been. It's been really fun.
Slide in the DMs and talk to us, please.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Literally because I need to talk to people. As Hope is well aware of, because I send her about 80 messages a day while she's at work. And she's like, hey, I have a job. I have a career. And I'd like to keep it. So could you stop texting me?
No, I love it. But I get home and we mostly talk in like the audio messages.
Yeah. So she can't listen to those while at work. So she listens after.
So I get home and I'd say on
Poor
average
Hope.
there's about like 47 minutes of audio, like 18 text messages.
Our voice memos could just be a podcast in themselves.
Honestly, we probably should do that someday.
We should.
It would be funny. But I do like how we've like tried to do everything together. You're definitely doing way more of the like editing work. We'll just give credit where credit's due. But yeah, but other than that, which is the bulk of the project, I feel like we're like really working together.
Well, we are, yeah. I mean,
So.
you can't, I watch the kids, but I don't have an actual job that I go to, so that makes sense that I do all that stuff. But then we have to consult each other, of course.
Should we do a shout out to our manager?
Shout out to our manager, Mitchell. We love you. I don't know what to say.
I love how you always do the finger guns.
No one can see my finger guns.
I know.
We need to record it. Our manager said we should record it.
I know, but our manager's going to have to pay for us for like a studio so that we're not sitting in my hallway.
So, to our manager, we would like a studio, please.
Yeah, because currently we sit in my hallway and we go back and forth.
We have upgraded to a chair instead of an entire table in this hallway, though.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But we go back and forth sharing who gets to sit on the big pillow and who gets the small pillow.
Yeah. It's very luxurious over here, basically, is what we're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, for today's bubbly talk, I thought it would be fun, and Brooke thought it would be fun, to just kind of, like, talk about, kind of, like, not how we became friends, but, like, things that really, like, cemented our friendship together. And most of those things occurred in middle school.
Yes, they did.
So, without further ado, here are 100 reasons why middle school was traumatizing.
Oh my gosh.
So,
middle school was literally the most traumatizing time.
Yeah.
And it is for everybody. And I just wish that as middle schoolers, we would have all come together and been like, hey, this is the worst, right, guys? Isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we all just are like, yeah. And then we all just go on with our lives. Instead of everybody's pretending to do whatever. And I just wish, I could go back and be like, Brooke, no one gives a shit.
Truly,
right?
Yeah. So I feel like, okay, just as a little bit of a backstory, we went to a really small Christian private school. Mm-hmm. We had probably, 20 kids in our class every year. And I feel like that's all we need to say about that.
Yeah,
small
very tiny.
Christian school, not a lot of kids, mostly girls, not that, well, let's just say not that many
options.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we went to a small middle school. Mm-hmm. And I would say we probably started to become closer to the end of 5th grade, but then you switched.
I went to Big Walnut in 6th grade, just super randomly. And then I came back because it was traumatizing, so.
How was 6th grade?
It was freaking horrible. I hated it. But also I had been in this small private school my entire life.
Yeah.
And then randomly decided to go there, and there's almost 300 kids in your class, which I think that's even small for a normal public school or whatever. But to me, that was horrible. I just remember walking in on the first day, and everybody's in the cafeteria. I knew one person, kind of, and I made eye contact with her, and she just looked away. But to be fair, again, we were all in middle school, and she was just with her friends, and she's like, I also know I was extremely freaking weird at that time.
No!
Yes. She did not like me. Just to be clear, she did not like me.
What a jerk.
No, I was so freaking weird.
You were not.
You don't think I was weird in middle school?
No.
I think I was insane. I was off my rocker.
I don't think so.
I was crazy.
I mean, I didn't really hang out with you in 6th grade.
That's true. But I was crazy in 7th and 8th, I thought. Maybe I wasn't.
So 6th grade was not the last for you.
No. Anyways, I just remember I just had to find a spot, and it was so embarrassing. No one knew me, and I just hated it. Anyways, just everything was so traumatizing there.
I hated 6th grade too.
Did you?
Yeah. Because you left. Like, Megan had just come to the school, so we weren't, like, super tight yet.
Yeah.
So I really didn't feel like I had, like...
a close friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Not, like, we're trying to name names or anything. But, yeah, I didn't really feel like I had, like, a close friend. And then we had to go to outdoor school.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, that was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't get to go.
Should I tell my story about that?
Yeah, you should.
So, we had to go to outdoor school up at Mohican for, like, 3 days. And, first off, a couple things about me. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to leave my mom. And the whole idea of, like, an outdoor school does not seem that appealing to me unless it's at a beach. So I'll just preface it with that. Then they decide to pair us off into groups. And, you know when... This probably sounds mean. We'll cut it out if it does.
Okay.
I got all the weird kids in my group that my mom had to drive. So I was not happy about that. Megan and I weren't together because her mom also was coming. So we, like, get up there and we're, like, going to unpack and everything. And I realized I forgot my underwear for the whole 3 days.
It's the most traumatizing thing. Did you realize on the way up, you're like...
No, I got there and, like, I was, like, unpacking and stuff. And I think I was, like, getting ready to change in my pajamas. And I'm like... Like, my whole world just shattered. I'm like...
Truly the most devastating.
I don't have underwear with me.
Were you, like, on your period or anything?
No.
Okay, that's good. I would have just left.
So I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, you gotta go to the store and get me underwear. And she's like, Hope, I can't leave. We're, like, camping. And it was, like, camper. And
she's, like, a counselor or whatever. Or
yeah.
whatever, like a... What is that? Chaperone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't leave.
I'm like, Mom, I have no underwear for this entire 3 days. Are you kidding me? Like, you have to go somewhere. And she's like, Hope, I can't. But I brought some extra. Okay, first off,
I brought some extra.
You don't ever want to share underwear. That's like the number one rule of life.
And then with your mom.
Yeah, that's the double whammy there. So here's me in middle school having to roll up my mom's underwear and, like, pin it in order to wear it while we're going hiking for 3 days. So you can just imagine how my outdoor school went. And that is really the only thing I think about in 6th grade. It was horrible. That's about it.
Oh, that's traumatizing.
So, yeah, I hated it.
I remember all that stuff with, like, when you start your period, you have to, like, keep everything under wraps. You cannot let people know. And it's so traumatizing trying to hide that from everybody. Like, I remember we used to hide them in our boots. Because our big thing, because Ugg boots were big at the time. I know I never had any. But my knockoff Meyer Ugg boots.
Those
from
were
Meyer.
Uggs.
UGH. And you'd stick, like, your supplies in your boots.
Yeah.
And hope no one saw them. Or then sometimes, if you were lucky, your skirt, because we had uniforms, your skirt had one of those little pockets.
Yeah.
And you could stick, like, a couple tampons or a pad in there. And hopefully no one would see it. Do you remember those little
no,
flags?
Because my mom wouldn't buy me the new skirts until
I never
outgrew my jumpers.
Did you wear jumpers in middle school? Did you? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Hang on. So that is why, until about 8th grade, I wore a hoodie every day. My GCA Lions hoodie, even if it was hot, because I was still... Brooke, what just came out of you?
I had no idea you wore jumpers every day. Now, to normal people, they probably don't even know what that... That's not
it's
funny
like the
to
skirt
them.
with, like, the vest attached.
Only, like, the little girls wore them. Oh, that's so funny. I thought you were going to say she wouldn't buy the new ones. I never got the new ones. I always went to second glance.
Yep.
Second glance,
to the back,
baby. To the back.
The as-is corner without the buttons. Or...
Yes, exactly. That's where I was shopping at. That's so funny. Yeah, you always wear a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, because I had a freaking jumper on. Because my mom didn't love me.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we'll just call 6th grade like a complete fail.
Yeah, not great. I was like, please don't make me go back. I want to go back to Genoa. It's so traumatizing. Everyone was talking about stuff, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Oh my god. Please don't. And then you get made fun of if you didn't know what something was. On the bus, they were making fun of this girl because she didn't, should I say?
I don't know.
She didn't know what fingering was. We were in 6th grade. I didn't know what that was. And, or was it that? Or the sign. This one.
Yeah.
Is that? What's that? Okay. The sign. And I did not know what it was. And I just stayed so quiet. I was like, please don't ask me. Don't call on me. Don't call on me. And they were all roasting her. And I felt, and she was like so confident, like, yeah, I don't know what it is. Why don't you just tell me? I was like, why is she the butt of the joke here? She's like, yeah, I don't know what it is. She's being so upfront about it. And everyone's making fun of her. And I was like, I literally was having a panic attack in my bus seat. Trying. And I got out of there scot-free. But it was so scary.
God, that's horrible.
It was horrible.
So
yeah, we never really got together a couple times in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
So that was fun. And
should we talk about the one time?
We got a 4-wheeler. We got a 4-wheeler. I don't remember if I was in like 5th or 6th grade, but it was somewhere in there.
Yeah. Does your dad know about this yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Mr. Schwarzenegger, if you're on here, go ahead and log off. Abort
mission.
If you don't, everything she is about to say is a lie. Okay, go ahead.
We were driving the 4-wheeler, and I always drove, but
Yeah.
I was letting you drive.
I distinctly remember this, okay? You're like, okay, Hope, why don't you try and drive? And I was like,
nervous.
But then you know what? I'm like, Hope, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, I'm going to drive this 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I say it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys lived in the country. Well, they still live in the country, but you're in the country, and they had trails back there.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one part of the trail where you go across the creek,
Correct.
and it's shallow, but it's water right there.
Yeah. So,
of course, right before we're about to get to that part, Brooke's like, "Let's switch. Hope, do you want to drive?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah, I want to drive."
Yeah.
So I get in the driver's seat, and I've never driven anything like this before.
But this is the part I thought she should try on this part, not on the open field.
Let's just let her do that. So I'm going, and I remember hitting the water, and I just panicked. And next thing I know, we're in the freaking tree. And I'm like,
I'm
gonna have
to
to
up against the tree twice. Just kept going, and I was like, "Stop!" Hope was trying to mow down the tree, pretended like it wasn't even there. Oh my gosh!
It was big.
No, it was a big tree. I mean, it's not going anywhere for sure. An established oak, if you will.
Many rings on the tree. So, I remember you just being like, "Hope, get off the 4-wheeler."
And then we had to
we had to pull
it, and we were laughing, but I was so scared that I was going to get in trouble.
Yes. Yeah, so I remember I'm sitting there, and when the whole world just stops, and you're just thinking, and I was like, okay, so here's the plan. First off, you're leaving immediately. You're going to hitchhike home. You're going to change your name, and you're going to move to Nebraska. And I don't know what you're going to do, but you have to get a whole new life. Because I thought my life was over. And then I feel like
we just went about our lives.
Kinda,
and I was like, we're never telling anyone this.
Yeah.
So we decided to announce it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're too old to get anything done to us, though, right? What's the statute of limitations?
Yeah,
you can't get me. I feel like we always got in trouble back in the woods, though.
We did.
Like, there was one time I remember, too, we, like, went back there and we were in the creek. And I had borrowed your dad's boots to go in the creek. And we, like, hit some quicksand. And you're like, I remember you saying this. You were like, oh, I don't care if you effing die, but do not lose those boots. As I'm, like, sinking, my mouth is just above water.
She has a straw to breathe out of. I said, don't lose those boots! I don't care if you drown, don't lose them.
I remember you saying that, and I was like, okay.
I see where your priorities lie.
I will say, Brooke was you were pretty blunt.
Was I?
Like, I don't give a crap if you're dead, but I have the boots. So, but I think we got the boots. We didn't lose them. My favorite time at your house, though, when we camped. Can I tell that story?
Yes. Wait.
With Megan. So we decided we're gonna pitch a tent out back. We're gonna camp. We're gonna do all the things. So we're out there.
Was that for a birthday or something? Or it was just
I don't know.
It was just for fun.
Yeah, I don't know. So we were like out there. We're kind of far from your house too. At least I remember that. We were probably right next to it. It
wasn't quite as far as like. Because we got married, Mitchell and I got married on the same land. It wasn't quite as far. It was like on the mainland, if you will.
Mainland. Yeah. So
I've said if you will about 8 times already in this podcast.
Drinking game. No. Yeah. So we decided we were going to camp out there. So we're doing all the cool things, which is basically like sitting on our phones out there.
No, that's not what happened.
It
Hope and Megan were sitting on their phones, and I was sitting there. Wanting to hang out with my friends. Was my phone dead? Something.
Did you have one yet?
I didn't have my phone yet. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We hadn't.
Anyway.
Yes.
So
and
now
they were on their phones.
Now I understand why you were so aggressive at this next part. So Brooke's like, I have to go pee.
Yeah.
So she's going to her house, and we had brought down it was a BB gun,
A BB gun, just in case.
Yeah, just in case, because you never know what was out there.
You don't.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So she goes back in the house, and I'm like, hey, Meg, we should turn all the lights off.
Because, we had an extension cord out there with, one, utility light hanging in the tent. Yeah.
So I'm like, we should cut the power and turn these lights out.
You genius.
So Megan's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So she's coming out, and
I took the BB gun with me just in case of any interactions with any predators.
So she's coming back out towards the tent, and we had pulled it, and she's like, guys, this is not funny. She's like, this is not funny at all. And I'm like, Megan, it's fine. Don't. Because she's like, let's plug it back in. I'm like, no, we're fine. And she's like, guys, I will shoot you. and I was like, Megan, she's bluffing. Don't turn that light back on. And then all of a sudden I hear, and she cocked the gun back and was actually gonna shoot us.
I thought what happened was that you were abducted. Yes. That's what I was scared of. And then I was like, or they're playing a joke. Either way, they're getting shot. Someone's getting shot tonight. With a BB gun, everyone. It wasn't a real gun. It would have hurt.
That was funny, though.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
That reminded me in 7th grade. I don't know if it was a sleepover, if it was my birthday. But we were, a bunch of girls or whatever, were at my house. Yeah. And then we were all laying out on the trampoline.
Yeah.
And we were just, hanging out. And then all of a sudden, we hear a noise.
Yeah.
And we're all looking around. It's pitch black. It's night. And then all of a sudden, we see this giant figure coming out from the field. And we sprint so fast. Hope beat everybody.
I was in the house, locked and completely safe.
I ran up into the bathtub upstairs. I was terrified. And it was my dad with my brother on his shoulders that came out to scare us. But we literally flew into the house.
Peed our pants.
I peed, for sure. I had not gone through pelvic floor therapy yet.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was all the trauma of 6th grade, I feel like. Then you came back to school with us, and we established ourselves as the Theta Queens.
Correct.
And we ran those plays.
Not in 8th grade.
Well, let's talk about 7th grade first.
I don't remember much from that.
I honestly don't either. Really, anything in 7th grade. 7th grade, no, we went to, 7th grade was when we went to, the Kentucky trip.
No, 7th was DC. 8th was the Kentucky
Are you
trip.
sure?
Yeah, because we went earlier than everybody else would go. Because they would always take the 7th and the 8th grade. In that year, we were the 7th graders. Okay. DC was fun, though.
Yeah.
I promise that was 7th grade.
Yeah, okay. So 7th grade was okay.
On the Kentucky trip, I was dating Ben Mensch. What's up, Ben? Do you think Ben listens?
No.
Probably not. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, anything good happened on that trip for you?
In DC.
We had fun in DC. I don't really remember anything too traumatizing. What about you?
One of the most traumatizing, embarrassing moments of my life happened in DC. Okay, so we had just gotten to some location, and I think it was near the beginning of the trip. Yeah. I believe it was our first stop, if I'm actually remembering correctly.
Ruined the whole trip for you.
It did. Not really. It was still really fun, but like that... Oh my gosh. I'm getting hives. Okay, so we walked off of the bus. And we're all standing around on some street in DC. And I don't remember what conversation was going on, but I was talking to this kid in our class, and he turns to look at me, and he goes, "That is the biggest booger I have ever seen in my life." And my heart stopped. My heart literally stopped. But I was I was like, he's probably kidding. And it was him and a couple of other guys. One.
Like the cool guys in our class.
And the guy that I like. Do we say his name? Caleb Jacobs. I literally loved him with my whole heart and soul and mind and strength.
Literally.
I loved him so much. I can't even tell you.
I will die if he would text me, not you for sure, but if he texts me and was like, "Love the podcast."
Oh my gosh, I'd literally die. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Anyways, he was there too. I'll just say, this guy I really loved forever was in that group.
Oh, we're not cutting that out.
Okay, that's true. He's never going to hear this.
No.
And if he does, whatever. I'm married and have kids, so who cares?
It's over, babe.
Yeah, you lost your shot, Caleb. Okay. Then the kid was like, that's the biggest booger I've ever seen in my life. And again, my heart stopped. But I was like, he's probably playing a prank on me because that's something he would do. No. It is something he would do to just psych you out and make you feel bad about yourself.
Like when they'd be like, "Hey, can you look up penisland.com?"
And you do it
in computer class, and all of a sudden you're on penis land.
Horrible.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, I turned to Hope and I was like, "Hope, do I really have a booger?" But on the word "really," she starts literally snorting laughing. She's like, "Bro," she's laughing so hard. She's trying to tell me. She's trying. And I had a giant ass booger on my face.
I can still see it.
I never even saw it. I never got to see it. Never got the chance. And then I remember being like, we walked into wherever we were walking into, and I was like, "Brooke, you could let this tear you down, or you can enjoy the rest of your trip." I remember having this talk to myself. I was like, that could be the end of you. I literally, it's so dramatic. But it's not going to be. Just ignore it and pretend it literally never happened. Okay? And that's what I did. And I was thinking about that so much this week.
Yeah.
The booger story.
Yeah, because we called each other and we are like, let's do like
a middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of a reminiscing of our trauma. Mm-hmm. And immediately you were like, the booger.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it because, I mean, it was funny.
I did not.
Yeah.
I still think about it. I have nightmares. Not really, but that was rough.
Were you there for the,
What?
The Creation Museum? Did you?
Yeah, I went to that.
Or was that 6th grade?
You guys might have also gone in 6th, but I went. Well, in 8th, we would have gone there when we went to Kentucky, too.
Well, I don't think you're in my group, but I remember
What?
I had a similar...
What happened?
Well, I fell outside while we were waiting. There was like a little garden area.
Oh, you were waiting?
Yeah, we were waiting to go in. I really don't think you were
So,
there.
like,
you were just not in my group.
You were just standing still and you fell?
No, we were like looking at the outside stuff. And I fell. And you know when you're like, oh my gosh, I skinned my knee. You could just feel it. It felt raw. But then I realized my pants also fell down.
No, they didn't. No. I don't know this story.
But no, I don't think anyone saw because no one said anything. But I remember talking to myself too and being like, Hope, if you cry, you just let that situation win.
Yes.
So you're just going to press on. You're going to persevere in Jesus.
Press on to the goal to win the prize. Cause Jesus.
Yes. I was literally thinking about that.
That's one of my
And then
favorite
it's like,
parts.
we got to keep praising God because if you don't,
Hallelujah!
the rocks are going to cry out. You remember that song?
Oh my gosh. Okay, you following reminded me of the time we went to Fort Rapids. So this would have been in 6th that would have been in 7th because we were going to go see The Haunting in Connecticut with Caleb Jacobs. And we didn't get to. He didn't get to hold my hand. That never would have happened. But we were planning on sneaking out and going to see The Haunting in Connecticut. I can't tell you how thankful I am that I didn't go see that because I do not do scary movies. Literally nothing scary. So, anyways.
And that would have been like the first one that we would have gone to see.
Yeah, so I don't know how it happened, but did you tell your mom? That's what happened.
Yeah.
She was just like, Mom, we're secretly going to see The Haunting in Connecticut.
No.
Oh. Did she figure it out?
No.
Okay.
We were on the phone, on my home phone. This is really old times. So we're on the home phone, and Kayla had one in her room that I would use to talk to you. But my mother picked up the one in the kitchen.
Being sneaky, Missy, I see.
Yeah. She had reason to be.
Correct.
And it's not, if we could figure out how to do that with an iPhone with our kids, we would definitely do it. But
absolutely.
I remember she picked it up and I heard one of the dogs bark downstairs and I was like, you mother effer. Obviously I'm not going to say that in middle school. But I went downstairs and my mom was like, you know what? I think you girls just need a little bit of a break. She's like, you just need to get away and, you know, realign yourselves in the Lord. So she sent us, not like, she didn't say that.
Okay.
I could see it. But she sent us with my older sister to the
Fort Rapids, baby.
Yeah.
And you know what? Best punishment ever, Missy. That was so fun.
Punish us again.
Yeah. Honestly, that was the way to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Send them away. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
She's like, get these girls out of here.
Correct. And then, you know what we didn't go see? The Haunting in Connecticut with a boy.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Anyways, we went to that. That was so fun. There was a lifeguard that looked exactly like Channing Tatum. Remember that?
Which I bet he didn't look
and
anything
there
like
is,
him.
okay, if you've ever been to Fort Rapids, there's a little part where there's the net that you hold on to, and then you have to balance on the little stones that are floating in the water.
Yeah.
Hope made me do that no less than 10 times because she wanted to just sit and stare at Channing Tatum. Okay, but the falling thing. So the big bucket. You know, the big bucket that fills up and then it falls over everything at any water park. And that's where all the kid stuff is, the little kid stuff. Mm-hmm. We're on there. And it is time for the big bucket to fall. And we are currently walking down the steps to go onto the slides or something, and the big bucket falls down, and I fall with it. It takes me out completely.
I forgot about
and
that.
I fall down how many stairs? I don't know. My legs are bleeding all over the place. It's so embarrassing, and it was on the kids' playground.
Contaminating the pool.
Yeah, that was rough. Both of my knees were so bloody. That bucket got me good.
That was your punishment for the movie.
Yeah, not as embarrassing as when Kayla flashed the lifeguards at Zoobiesy Bay. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can put that in.
Why not? I feel like we always were trying to like sneak out to scary movies though.
Yeah.
And the one time I remember we succeeded.
We only succeeded once.
Yeah, we got Megan's brother to drive us to the movie.
Mason.
And I told my mom we were going to see A Christmas Carol. Because it was the new, remember that new, like, it was
Jim
like
Carrey?
Yeah. A Christmas Carol would come out, and I was like, Mom, we're going to go see that. Is that okay with you? You know, trying to butter her up. And she's like, oh, of course, honey. So I'm like, cool. And we were going to meet up with Matt in our class. So I remember we pull up to the movie theater and we're all being we're probably being so weird because we're trying to get away with this. And
because we're also buying a ticket to an R-rated movie.
Yes.
We are not 17.
Yeah, which I feel like they never checked. But I remember he turns around.
Did he buy all the tickets?
No.
Oh, I can't.
He just dropped us off, but I remember he turned around and he's like, what movie are you guys going to see? And we're like, A Christmas Carol? And he's like, so Megan, what movie are you guys going to see? And then I think he just was like, whatever.
Yeah.
You three girls get out of my car.
Yeah.
So we go in.
You know he hated driving us there so bad.
Oh, for sure. But we go in and we bought tickets to see The Fourth Kind.
No, but we wouldn't have been able to because we weren't 17.
We literally bought the tickets.
Did we?
Yes. They never check for those.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I thought we had to buy tickets to a different movie.
And I think it was just PG-13.
That's definitely rated R. It was so
I
scary.
don't know. But I remember sitting in there and I can still hear the sound, like when the like alien, whatever it was, would come. I can still remember the sound, how quiet it would get, and then it's like, dun-dun.
I can't remember a single thing from that movie. I had my eyes closed and my ears plugged the entire movie, and I was like, why did I think this would be fun?
Because we thought we were cool, and we also thought we were cool that we were going to the movie theater with a boy. Ratio 1 boy to 3 girls.
Yeah.
So.
No, I remember being like, this was not worth it.
No.
Why?
And so I literally went home that night.
Ugh.
I slept on my parents' floor for like a couple of days. And I just, they weren't too surprised because that wasn't completely out of the ordinary.
She literally stopped breastfeeding in 5th grade.
So anyway, I'm sleeping on the floor, and I remember I started crying, and my mom was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I went to see The Fourth Kind, I'm just scared. She was like, oh, honey, that's why you don't go see those movies. But I didn't get in trouble. I really never got in trouble.
I know. Well, you're also a very good kid.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a traumatic time. We were trying to be people we really weren't, and trying to be cool, and
definitely weren't cool.
So I'd rate it like a 2 out of 5, middle school.
The Fourth Kind? Oh.
No, middle school.
Oh, yeah.
It's not great.
Well, we also had the plays.
That was our shining moment, I feel like.
The plays, literally, that... But I feel like the whole school really loved the whole plays thing.
Yeah.
I mean, most people. And it was just like the biggest thing. It was so much fun, and we took it so seriously.
Yeah, we would like get out of math class to make costumes.
In 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for this? In 8th grade, every single day of math class, we would literally leave to go do the costumes for Beauty and the Beast. We painstakingly made Hope her Mrs. Potts costume.
Which was awesome.
All of those little pieces of felt We glued all those little pink and blue pieces onto her teapot costume.
Yep.
And we did not learn shit in math that year.
No.
But guess what we got in the class? An A+. Thank you, Mrs. Angulo.
Wasn't that the year we both were like, we did the state testing?
We failed the OATs, but we both got A+ in math. Because she's like, thanks for doing the costumes for me, girls. Because she was in charge of the costumes.
I remember my parents being like, Hope, you did so great everywhere else except math. And I'm like, I have no idea why.
I got the worst grade you could possibly get on the OAT in math. I didn't learn anything that year.
No.
And that's why I wasn't allowed to go back to Genoa in high school.
Really?
Because I got such a bad grade, so I had to choose to go to Big Walnut again. And we know I wasn't going to do that. Or go to Gilead.
Yeah.
So I went to Gilead.
I feel like our final, big story that really just instilled in us that we were best friends forever happened in middle school. This had to have been 8th grade.
I think it was 8th.
Yeah. So, remember, Brooke and I were two very concerned students because there was a smell.
There was a smell by my locker.
Coming from the locker area. Mm-hmm. And we were not the nicest, I feel like. And we were trying to blame other people.
Yeah.
On it. And saying, somebody's locker smells and we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we thought we had figured it out.
And we went to Mr. Bartley, the principal, and I was like, listen, this is getting out of hand. This smell is really, it's so bad, and it's so bad. Please take care of it. We think it's this person's locker. Please fix this for us. And he's like, okay. And I was like, I've been dealing with this for weeks now. It's probably like 2 days. Anyways, we're sitting up in the computer lab. Hated computer lab, by the way. And
I liked it.
I hated it because she would just, don't look at your hands. Don't look at your hands. And she'd cover them with a towel.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I hated it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm glad you liked it, though. But I like typing now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Mr. Bartley comes in during class and he goes, everyone please stop. And this is like, again, our entire class.
Including the person who we told him that we thought it was their locker.
Yeah, we're going to call that person Dan. There we go. Dan. Okay, and so Mr. Bartley comes in. He's like, everyone stop. And so we all turn towards him. And he said, I just wanted everyone to know that Brooke came to me and said that Dan's locker smells really bad and that she can't handle it anymore. And so I decided to do a little detective work. And I searched her locker, Brooke's locker. And this is what I found. And he holds up a plastic bag and inside...
Should I tell him? So probably like a month or two before
was Easter.
Yeah. And my family always dyes Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So I am obviously, I don't know why, but I made an Easter egg for my best friend.
Yes.
And I wrote her name on it with the crayon.
And a cross.
And a cross, amen.
Amen.
And I gave it to Brooke. Mm-hmm. And she put it in her locker.
And I forgot
about it.
And it got crushed by all my books.
So he's holding up this bag, and I remember seeing it, and
rank,
I was like,
moldy, nasty egg that's like 2 months old.
I'm like, oh my god, that's the egg I gave her. But I was scot-free in this situation because he didn't say Hope and Brooke came to me.
He just blamed me and said, I said this other person stinks. And I said, it was the most embarrassing thing of my life.
Okay, wait.
Booker or that?
Yeah.
I feel like the egg, because in that scenario, I was painted to be this really mean person.
He did. That was really low of him.
But I wasn't trying. I never said anything to that person. To Dan.
We were always really nice to Dan.
Yes.
And tried to befriend Dan.
I never said anything to Dan. I said it to the principal, and I was going to say, can we, do a locker clean out initiative.
Hygiene class.
A hygiene class. Something like that. I didn't say anything to him, but I didn't want to go to that person and be like, that stinks.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice, but I was like, it was bad. I was like wanting to throw up. Do you remember?
Oh,
I'd hold my breath. I would hold my breath, run to my locker, get my books, and run back. Okay, truly. And it was so embarrassing. And everybody was like, wow, Brooke, you're such a dick.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
I remember, like, the boys were like, Brooke.
Yes.
And, like, to be
so
like, ostracized by the boys in the class, because I feel like we thought we were the popular girls.
I don't feel like I was cool with any of the boys. I thought everyone thought I was weird.
I don't think
Yes,
so.
I was too hyper for everybody. Oh my gosh. That reminded me of Patrick.
What?
Patrick. Okay, Patrick always used to do all these things to the teachers.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime there was a sub, he'd always pull some shit. Honestly, it was the best. One of my favorites is when I'm sure if you are around our age, you were a part of the generation that would say the word penis as loud as they could. Or they'd play the penis game and you'd say it back and forth until they're shouting it. And that would always be what his tagline, penis. Anytime. I mean, all the boys, literally every single boy. One of the classes where there was a sub, he literally wrote the word penis on his notebook. And then he was like, Mrs. Whatever, can I please sharpen my pencil? And she's like, of course, Patrick. And he was at the front of the class and he turns around and has the word penis on his notebook and walks back to the back of the class. And I am peeing myself. Truly. I thought it was the funniest thing. And also, he likes to pretend that he's an accent.
Yeah, he always would pretend he was British.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? Substitute. He just kept going with it.
And she's like, you're not British. I know you're not.
She got right in his face and she's like, Patrick, I know you're not British. What's your name? And he was like, MERCER. And she's
MER.
She's like, I know you're not British.
He held it up the whole time.
He sure did.
He did. I mean, honestly, a lot of entertainment came from him.
Yeah.
Oh, MERCER. We were all literally.
You think he listens?
I do not think so.
I would love it.
Patrick, are you listening? You brought us a lot of joy in middle school.
What a good time.
I don't know if there's anything usable in this episode, if I'm going to be completely honest.
You don't think?
It's going to be hard to edit, guys. So if you know what? If there was a lot of rough parts where it didn't really go together very well.
I think this is going to be our best work yet.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to listen.
I can't wait either. And if
it's bad, I'm still releasing it.
I know we'll love this episode,
yeah.
But I feel like if you listen to this episode, send us a message with like your most traumatic middle school story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Eventually, if we get enough people listening and writing in, we could do like listener episodes. Most traumatic middle school story.
That would honestly be so
That
much
would
fun.
be
Or we
funny.
can post them on Instagram anonymously.
Ooh. Oh yeah. We would never out anybody. We'd never say anybody's name. We'd keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you wanted us to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's on the docket for you next, Hope?
Reading wise or life wise?
Reading. Life. Are you just gonna go work more?
Probably.
Yeah. Same. I'll take care of babies more, so. Got that covered. Now what are we reading?
Happy Place.
Yes.
That's going to be the next one. I'm going to finish It Happened One Summer and then move on to Happy Place.
Are you going to read Hook, Line, and Sinker?
Yeah. Is that like is it related to it?
Yeah, they're the sisters.
It's Hannah's story?
Hannah's story.
Okay. With, what's his name?
Fox.
Russ?
Fox.
Yeah.
Did I know?
There wasn't somebody named Russ. That was in the last.
Oh.
That was an icebreaker.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh, yeah.
With Fox.
I liked that one way better than the It
Really?
Happened One Summer. Yeah.
I just feel
way
like
better.
I get so caught up in these love stories in the books that I'm just like...
I mean, I enjoyed it while I listened to it, but I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I liked the Hook, Line, and Sinker way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
I told Brooke I re-downloaded Hinge, a dating app.
Oh, yeah, baby. So you buckle up for some stories coming your way. She's got
I have a couple.
Yeah,
that
we're not sure.
I just don't know if I can share it yet, but I know our manager is going to make me at some point. But we're still working up the nerve to share that one. But I think moral of the story is it is a jungle out there.
It sure is.
And you are lucky because you didn't have to deal with any of that. But I'm out here struggling. It's horrifying.
Well, I shouldn't ask about it on here.
What?
How's
we
your
can
little,
cut it if
how's
we...
your little Aussie friend?
So I met this... He just offered up this information.
Sheila?
Yeah.
That was not a good accent, but... What is a boy version? What is a boy version of a Sheila?
I don't know.
A Sheldon?
Sure.
How do you...
I
don't know.
I met this guy who's from Australia, but he's here working. And literally it was like love at first sight because he like walked into the building I was in and he was like,
Good
hello. He's like, hello. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, where is he from? And we were like talking and he just like offered up that he was 6'5", and I'm like, ding, 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 ding.
Okay, he offered it up.
Yeah. We like that.
I'm just saying. Why did he do that?
I don't know.
You know?
I'm not
just saying.
sure.
He's not interested.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
You know? Because why would you say that if you didn't care?
I don't know. I'm trying to think how he brought it up.
Well, I'm 6'5", so that really doesn't... What's that accent? Give him a southern accent.
Yeah, but I remember I was like, so, like, how did you get to Ohio? And he's like, I'm not going to try the accent because I'm just going to botch it, but and everything just sounds so, like, buttery, you know? But he was like, I said, so, like, how'd you decide, like, how'd you get here from Australia? And he's like, you know, like, it was a bit too long of a swim, so I decided to take a plane instead. And I was like,
good banter back and forth.
Funny too. But yeah, and then later he did tell me like how we got here, but that's for me to know, I guess.
And you did not find out.
Will we ever see him again? I don't know.
I hope so.
But that was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was not online because online is just not trash. It's not nice to say trash, but just seems like flaming dumpsters. So.
Yeah, so if we end up ever telling that story, everyone needs to know ahead of time.
What story? Oh, the story.
Hope is the best person ever, and she was not in the wrong in this. At all. Anyone she's told the story to has fully agreed with her side of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see if we ever get
the
courage to say that one.
You just never know because what are the odds that like that person's like happens to look at my Instagram
well,
and
then
let me listen to this specific episode of the podcast, and then it's like, ooh.
Honestly, he should listen because that's really messed up.
Well,
it's incredibly messed up.
I don't think he would be able to listen to the podcast, but yeah, I don't think he would find it. But anyway, we'll leave that one alone. So yeah.
Anyways.
That's something exciting I told Brooke I was doing for the podcast.
She literally downloaded Hinge for the podcast. So let's all give Hope a round of applause for downloading Hinge for us.
I told you this morning I did get one message. And because on Hinge it like makes you put in like where you're from, like religion, all that kind of stuff. And so no hi or anything. He just said, I think his name was Tim. He just said, tell me which church you go to. And I was like, yeah.
Nice pickup line, Tim.
That's going to be a hard pass, Timothy.
Thanks, but no thanks.
That's my only exciting tidbit to share.
I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, nothing's going on as usual.
No. Just living life.
Living life. Feeling free. That's how it's supposed to be. Come join my festivities. Celebrate like I'ma be. I'ma be.
Should we go?
Yeah. I'm getting tired, man.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye.